Hey everyone, welcome to the VitaCast episode 116. We are back again, and guess what? It didn't take us a month to get back to it. It's time for that VitaCast. It's me, Tyler Olthoff, joined alongside Kyle Wakeling. What's up, Kyle?
Not too much, Tyler. How's it going with you?
It's deathly hot in this room, and I may or may not be wearing pants.
Damn it, Tyler. Put your pants on, man.
I'm bringing it back. It's that time of the year where Tyler's pants come off. Here. Right? Get excited.
God. Maybe I'm just going to have to not give you for the start of the podcast from now on, and then I don't know whether you're wearing pants. It's better not to know.
Well, now that you've told me that, I'm just going to bring it up randomly in conversation.
I hate you. I knew I hated you for some reason, Tyler.
Yeah, there was something later.
It escaped me a little bit while we had that break, but now I know.
Yep. Well, you should be honored to know me, Kyle. For real.
No.
Like, every day, you should just wake up with a smile and be like, I know Tyler.
Nah, I usually wake up and I'm like, all happy and stuff, and then I remember that I know you, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever, I just try to brighten your day, and here you are bringing me down. That's alright.
It happens.
Alright, well, let's not bullshit much longer. We got a lot to talk about, and we got to talk about what we've been playing. So, Kyle, what have you been playing?
Well, it hasn't been too long since our last talk, so I haven't played too much. I did play some Hot Shots Golf. Actually beat a score on one of my 18-hole runs, so that was pretty good. And I played, of course, Severed, which I cannot talk about yet, but I went all the way through the game again, so...
Very nice.
Yeah. My review will be mad thorough, so there you go.
Well, I can't really say anything because I played Severed as well, and we can't talk about it. So, yeah, that's all I played.
Our lips are sealed.
Yeah, that's the end of that talk. That was quick. All right, well, let's jump into the reviews we got. We got quite a bit to go through, so let's start it off with XCOM, Enemy Unknown Plus. This was reviewed by Timmy. He gave it a 4 out of 5 and says, quote, XCOM Enemy Unknown Plus is a perfect game hidden behind a poorly executed port. For some, these technical issues may be enough to warrant not giving it a shot, but you would be robbing yourself of experiencing one of the hardest and most rewarding tactical games released in years, end quote. I've been interested in this one, but hearing performance issues, or technical issues, I guess, is a little worrisome, and I got other games to play, so maybe I'll just hold off for now. What about you, Kyle?
In this case, I'm one of the few instead of the many. I do not care for any of these 2K games that have recently made their way over. I'm just not interested, so all the props to those who are, not for me.
I gotcha. Hey, we're all different. Well,
that's right.
I guess we'll have to read the full review to get more in that one, so head to the site, people. What do we got next, Kyle?
Alright, next up is Samurai Warriors 4 Empires, which was given a 4 out of 5, and I didn't write down who did that one for some reason.
Way to go.
Anywho, here's the quote from that anonymous person who I'll figure out in a minute. Overall, the game offers a nice blend of action and strategy, even if compromises are made in both departments to make the combination work. This game isn't going to challenge your planning skills as much as Civilization game will, but makes up for it with fun action gameplay. For anyone with an interest in Warriors games, I can easily recommend this game. For those turned off by other Warriors games, this game still isn't for you unless the strategy element has you intrigued. End quote. So
that was by Reese Hayworth.
There you go. Reese, one of our newbies who's doing quite well. Yeah, I don't have much to say about these Samurai Warriors games. They are just really not for me. I'm not much into historical stuff like that, so I'm out. What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, yep, same here. Me and you have talked about it a lot, about these Samurai games, these Warriors games, these Empire games.
There you go. Even the strategy element couldn't lure Tyler.
Yep. All right. Next up, we've got Ninja Senki DX. This was reviewed by Colin. He gave it a 3.3 out of 5 and says, Ninja Senki DX boasts masterful level design with fun and challenging gameplay ideal Ideal for fans of platformers of old. Just don't expect to find anything particularly groundbreaking or unique, end quote. I know nothing really about this game.
It's some sort of like retro-esque platformer. Like it's styled kind of like Mario would be, although it's more of a action style game, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. Looks okay, but not something that I'm rushing out to get.
I
What about
gotcha.
you?
Yeah, from your description, it doesn't sound like I really care that much. But hey, if it's a good game and people like it, then enjoy it.
There you go.
All
All
right.
right, moving on. The next review was one of my reviews, and that's Valkyrie Drive Bhikkhuni, which is an import review sponsored by Play Asia. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5, which is actually higher than I reviewed both Senran and Kagura games, which is a little note there. And I said, quote, Valkyrie Drive Bhikkhuni is a fast-paced Musu action title infused with Kenichiro Takaki's brand of fan service and strengthened by the roots of Senran Kagura experience. It may not be in English, but aside from missing what could be an interesting story due to the language barrier, there's tons of great gameplay for the importer. End quote. Yeah, just I talked a bit about it in the last podcast. Just a really good, really fast-paced game, kind of like Senran Kagura, but with its own unique twist. If you do happen to pick it up, which I recommend you do, get a hold of me. I'd love to play some online or, give you some tips. So there you go.
Alrighty. Get on it.
Yeah.
Next up, we got a virus named Tom. This was reviewed by Timmy. He gave it a 2.8 out of 5 and says, quote, it's a shame that the originality and charm of the cut scenes and voice acting get lost in translation when it comes to the main game itself. A virus named Tom is in no ways a bad game. It just does nothing to set itself apart from the crowd, meaning that if you took away the narrative, all that is left is a mediocre puzzler that will unfortunately forever sit in the shadows of other far superior action puzzle games on the Vita, end quote. Doesn't seem like he was too happy with this one, so you might want to definitely read that full review. I don't really have an interest in this one myself, so that definitely helps solidify my thoughts.
Well, it's free on Plus, so it's always, free to try if you do have Plus. So why not? But personally, I'm not rushing to it. I've tagged it. It's kind of somewhere on my radar, but close to the edge.
Right. Alright, well, read that full review, people. Let's get to the next one. What we got, Kyle?
The next review up is Risk of Rain, which was reviewed by Artie. He gave it a 4.6 out of 5, and he says, quote, Risk of Rain is an excellent game, though the tiny character size on the PS Vita screen is a major nuisance sometimes. Mop up, bits slow down an otherwise lightning-fast experience, great music and addictive gameplay are the order of the day, however. Features an incredible amount of content for a meager price, an absolute PS Vita must-buy. End quote. So, lots of praise there for Risk of Rain. It's not something I've really learned a whole bunch about, I guess. I do know kind of the basics about it, but it's just not really on my brain map, so I can't really say too much about it. Do you know too much about this one, Tyler?
No. I know nothing. I know
there
the
you
name.
go. Risk it don't know what the hell the game's about.
Yeah. I should probably watch some trailers on these games, but I've been too busy. But hey, I got this good review to go off of, so that's good.
That's right. A 4.6 is a great review, actually. And, definitely makes me want to look into it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's the top No, it's not. Lies.
Lies.
Spoilers, we got something else that's higher than that coming up. Anyways, next up. Assassin's Creed Chronicles Trilogy, reviewed by Charlie, gave it a 3.6 out of 5, and he says, quote, Assassin's Creed Chronicles Trilogy is a game that I found myself both loving and hating at the same time. With 3 different stories following 3 different assassins, it's a shame that the 3 games feel like reskinned versions of each other. While there's nothing I can technically fault with the game, I just found myself a little bored with the game at times. This isn't a game I would encourage for long periods of play, but can be fun in small doses, end quote. This is another one that I was very interested in giving a shot, but it's a very average sounding game. So, I don't know. Kyle?
Yeah, see, this one has what I call Blackgate syndrome. So that Arkham Asylum game that came out way back, it's cool that it has Assassin's Creed attached to it, just like that was cool that it had Batman attached to it. But other than that, I really don't give too much of a fuck.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way it is. I was a bit interested when I initially kind of learned about the game, and I've been, tempted here and there along the way, but after reading the review and seeing some gameplay video recently of, early on, it just seems, well, boring, just like it was said. So,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. We need more proper Assassin's Creed games.
That we do. Assassin's Creed Liberations was pretty fun. It just needed some more cleanup.
Yeah, it definitely needed some cleanup, but it was fun.
I always get the urge to go back to it every once in a while, actually.
So do I, and then I start up, and you get into that lady persona, and I'm just like, fuck myself, this is retarded.
Whoa, Kyle, we don't want to know your fantasies, okay?
Yeah. Turn it over on me, Tyler. That's the way it is. I see how it is. Alright, moving on from that Assassin's Creed Chronicles Trilogy review, we have Axiom Verge, which actually released today. It was reviewed by Artie, and he gave it a 4.8 out of 5, and he says, quote, Axiom Verge is an artistic triumph with some minor issues that hold the PlayStation Vita version back a little. However, fantastic music, visuals, and truly original gameplay mechanics put it a cut above other games of its genre. If you're looking for a meaty, thought-provoking adventure in the palm of your hand, few games pack a punch like Thomas Happ Games' Axiom Verge, end quote. So, little funny story. The Axiom Verge Twitter was giving away codes earlier, and I happened to get one because it was an obscure, computer reference thing. And I tried to download it. I got to like 142 megabytes out of 147 in like 30 seconds, and then it just kind of stopped, and it sat there for like probably an hour and a half before it finished. So that's my story about Axiom Verge. I really wanted to play it, and then it screwed me. Not necessarily the game, more like the PSN, but still. So I don't have too much to say about that, but hopefully I'll be digging into that soon if I can find the time, which I had found earlier, but it didn't obviously give me. Yeah. What do you think, Tyler?
I've been interested in it, but I don't know. It's just another one of those games where it's just going to be added to my backlog and I'll never get to it, even though it sounds like it's so good and everyone loves it. So it's tough, Kyle. It is tough.
I'm really enjoying some Metroidvania love recently, so I've had the urge to go back for Guacamelee, and this just might be the new thing that kind of catches my attention, so we'll have to see.
Yeah. Alright, well, what do we got next? Crap, my internet's being dumb. Go back to the thing we were looking at. Thank you. Alright, next up, we've got Trillion, God of Destruction. This was reviewed by Liam. He gave it a 3.9 out of 5 and says, quote, Trillion is not a game that will be to everyone's tastes. It is unique and fun to play, but many players may find that it's trying too hard to be too different and therefore complicates itself. But if you're looking for a JRPG or SRPG with a unique spin, then Trillion is definitely worth a look, end quote. So yeah, I have this game. I have not played it. So that's all I got.
There's a lot about this game that really kind of turns me off, that makes me not want to, play it or pay attention to it. But other than Liam's, I don't even know what kind of classification he's given it there, review of it. I've heard some interesting and some kind of intriguing things, so maybe I'll have to kind of read what Liam says, but yeah, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where people either like it or they hate it, and it's got kind of a weird premise, so I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I was there and then I wasn't there, and now I'm sitting on the fence and I don't know who to believe.
I mean, I guess if I remember correctly, I did play it at PSX, and it felt like a game that was not really the best for a show kind of floor thing, because you just get thrown into it. You're like, here, play a strategy game. And you're like, okay, let me try to learn all the mechanics in like 5 minutes and have it be fun. So Yeah, I mean, I have the game, so who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll fire it up and actually give it a shot and see how it is from, playing it at home perspective, not at a show floor perspective. So, yeah, there you go. We got the full review to check out, people, if you're interested in it, and you can let us know more about it if you end up picking it up. All right, we got some new releases to go over. North America, what do we got? We've got Assassin's Creed Chronicles Trilogy for $24.99, A Virus Named Tom for $9.99, Green Game Time Swapper for $4.99, Skullgirls Second Encore for $24.99, Risk of Rain for $9.99, and Axiom Verge for $19.99. Kyle, what is Europe getting?
Alright, Europe gets Assassin's Creed Chronicles Trilogy for £19.99, €24.99, or $34.95 Australian dollars. Green Game Time Swapper for £3.99, €4.99, or $7.55 Australian dollars. A Virus Named Tom for £7.99, €9.99, or $14.95 Australian dollars. Shimi Seriously Swole for £7.99, €9.99, sorry, or $14.95 Australian dollars. Risk of Rain for £7.39, €8.99, or $13.45 Australian dollars. And Skullgirls Second Encore for £19.99, or €24.99. Don't have an Australian price on that one because I couldn't verify it.
Wow,
but yeah, so that's from the 5th, the 12th, and the 19th. So we're completely caught up now. Kind of start the slow clap there, Tyler?
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to get picked up in the podcast, but I hope it is.
Well, that's what he was trying to do. If he fails, it's live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the news. We've got some more catching up to do in the news, so we might as well get right into it, right? Right.
Absolutely.
Deep breath. All right, and we're good. All right. An earlier look at the latest issue of Famitsu has revealed the existence of the next Dynasty Warriors game for PlayStation Vita. Dynasty Warriors Iketsuden? Yep, alright. Dynasty Warriors Iketsuden is a strategic variant of the Dynasty Warrior games, offering grid-based maneuvers as well as warrior-style action bits. The game's story is a grand fantasy adventure following the Dynasty Warriors characters Zhao Yun and two other new characters, Li Bin and Li Zia. The game, yeah, no Japanese names, Kyle. F you. The game takes place during the Three Kingdoms era of ancient China and looks set to, I guess it's Chinese names, whatever, to add more fictional elements as the story progresses. The official website also gives more details on the new characters. Li Zai is, I don't care who's voicing her. Anyways, her bio reads, quote, a girl is sealed away for many years in a shrine near the village where Zhao Yun has raised. When Zhao Yun and his childhood friend Li Bin visit the shrine, she awakens. Why was she sealed? Who exactly is she? End quote. Li Bin is voiced by Makoto Furukawa. Li Bin is Zhao Yun's old friend and is... Oh my gosh, Kyle. All these names, they mess me up on regular names. And a scholarly. A scholarly young man who likes investigating old legends and historical things. And in a small shrine near the village, Li Bin and Zhao Yun encounter Li Zia, who was sealed away. They solved the seal because of her curiosity and his quest for the truth. Li Zia sticks with Zhao Yun and Li Bin. Okay. This new game will feature new elements like resonance, the ability to move commanders continuously to wipe out your enemies, and a completely new story. It will also reportedly feature a free battle mode and the ability to skip cinematic action sequences. Dynasty Warriors E is due out in Japan sometime this year.
That's Iketsuden, Tyler.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? I said it from the beginning?
Sure.
Okay. I'll just pretend I did. Alright. The latest Touhou project game, Genius of Sapphirose, finally has a release date and is coming soon. The game is set to launch on the Japanese PlayStation Store on April 28th for 3,000 yen. Touhou Soujinengi 5, The Genius of Sapphirose, is an old-school RPG. The game originally launched for PC back in 2010, though the PlayStation Vita version has been reworked with widescreen support and better game balancing, as well as additional game content. Nippon Ichi Software has announced a new game, World's Longest 5 Minutes. World's Longest 5 Minutes puts you in the shoes of Back Flashback, a hero who is about to take on the Demon Lord. Things don't go quite as expected, however, and soon your memories are lost. Driven into a defensive stance, you must help Back regain his memories by conversing with both allies and the Demon Lord. Some of the people you'll talk to include Regent Night Fever, a magic minstrel that has been delivering his music all over the world. Yotsuba Shiro Tsumku. Yeah, Kyle, no Japanese names? Okay. And a shy and gentle priest, and Yuzu Nana Korobi, a clumsy martial artist with an outgoing personality. As for the gameplay, it'll consist of 2 parts, an adventure bit and RPG bit. The adventure bit will see you choosing different things while fighting the Demon Lord. As for the RPG bit, it'll start with a flashback during an event scene, and its outcome will affect the hero's abilities and equipment. There's also apparently a system that makes the memories more beautiful, whatever the hell that means. Additional details about the game's development were revealed as well, starting with the fact that the game was born from plans for a smartphone game, evolving over time into the Vita title we'll be seeing this June in Japan. It began actual development after Pro DX met a top executive at Nippon Ichi Software while out one night. And though initial development started last November with a 7-month plan, it ended up taking much longer due to this being their first console game. Nippon Ichi as their partner were originally supposed to be in charge of everything, but the planning scenario and sounds, but plans got too big and they ended up giving more of a hand than they had originally thought necessary. Because of this expansion in plans and need for more help on Nippon Ichi's part, the grand ending that was originally planned for the game was reconsidered. World's Longest 5 Minutes releases in Japan on June 28th, priced at 3,086 yen for the digital download, 4,298 yen for the standard physical edition, and 6,458 yen for the limited physical edition, which includes the game's history title soundtrack. Which includes the Pro DX history title soundtrack, proposal documents, an art and materials collection, and a calendar.
Alright, so after that torture that I didn't mean to inflict on Tyler, wink wink, nudge nudge, moving on. A new version of the PlayStation Vita system software has been pushed to Sony servers. To coincide with the PlayStation 4's big 3.50 update, Sony has also pushed an update to the PlayStation Vita, bringing us from 3.57 to 3.60. No update notes were included with this release, but we've heard that this update improves system performance, and that gains in frame rate have been experienced in many games. An official comment hasn't been made to this effect, however the update is available right now, so get downloading. Kicking on, developers Ratloop Asia have taken to the official PlayStation blogs rather than the skies to announce the release date of Rocket Birds 2 Evolution, sequel to their 2011 critical darling Rocket Birds Hard-Boiled Chicken. Rocket Birds 2 Evolution will feature a meaty 6-chapter campaign in addition to some new modes that have the team at Ratloop Asia really excited. They are hoping that these new modes will give players more ways to enjoy the game. The all-new Rescue mode supports up to 4 players connected locally or online and tasks your squad to work together to rescue hostages from behind enemy lines. Every rescued hostage will be added to your squad as a fully customizable and playable character. Rescue mode will feature 4 randomly generated environments for you to explore and lure. With over 40 weapons to collect, from pistols to rifles, to RPGs and missile launchers, Rocket Birds 2 has definitely come packing the firepower. Not all guns are created equal, however, and certain combinations of weapons will do more damage with some strategy, the developer explains. Quote, certain weapon combinations kill enemies faster. Everyone starts off with the famous 5, an MP5, and 2 Deagles, Desert Eagle pistols. The pistols can destabilize enemies quickly and get them into the air, but don't do a lot of damage. Once destabilized, the enemy will take a lot more damage from your famous 5. With enough practice, you could also graduate to the precise single-shot rifles like the hunting rifle, which will do insane amounts of damage, or insane amounts of headshot damage, end quote. In rescue mode, players can also stack up on top of each other up to 4 characters high. This has a range of uses such as extracting hostages, helping down teammates get out of danger until they recover, or just creating a towering inferno of bullets and mowing through enemies. Also detailed was the title's competitive multiplayer mode, known as the Dojo. In this mode, up to 4 players can put their skills to the test against the wits of their friends in a frantic, explosive battle royale. A small wager is required to enter a dojo battle, and after the dust settles, the player to come out on top wins it all. The developer gave some advice for success in this as well. Quote, take the high ground, so you'll be shooting downwards at an opponent's heads, and don't get surrounded or caught in crossfire, end quote. Rocket Birds 2 Evolution will feature cross-buy and cross-play when it lands on the PlayStation Network April 26th. Kicking on, my favorite man, Kenichiro Takaki has made some tweets from his English Twitter account that point to the possible localization of 2 games and some new DLC. If you've been disappointed that the Ikitusen, Battle Vixen's DLC, wouldn't be making its way to Senrankuger S-level versus in the West, or worried that Valkyrie Drive, Bhikkhuni, and or Uppers wouldn't be considered for localization, it's time to breathe a partial sigh of relief. Kenichiro Takaki, the producer for those games, is currently attempting to make them available to us. The following tweets were sent out a short while ago from his English Twitter account. Quote, although Battle Vixen's characters don't appear in Senrankuger EV outside Japan, I'm still in the middle of negotiations to make it happen, end quote. And, quote, it's not official, but I hope to launch localized versions of both Valkyrie Drive, Bhikkhuni, and Uppers outside Japan in the near future, smiley face, end quote. While neither of these are confirmations of localization, it's good to know that he's at least trying to please fans and give them the games they demand. What he's brought us thus far has gone over quite well, and I'm sure the rest would too. Would you buy any of these games or the DLC if it were to come our way? I know I would, including a second, more understandable copy of Valkyrie Drive.
Alright, next up, publisher Koei Tecmo dropped a hot new trailer for the Western release of their manga Muso mashup Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom, and with it comes European and North American release dates. Titled simply Attack on Titan in North America, it is the most recent licensed title developed by veteran studio Omega Force, Hyrule Warriors, Dragon Quest Heroes. The game will follow the events of the first season of the popular anime series of the same title. Taking control of one of the series' main unique characters, players will be tasked with taking down the gigantic tormentors of humanity known as Titans, using hack-and-slash gameplay derived from Omega Force's own Warriors series. Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom will launch as a digital-only title August 26th in Europe and August 30th in North America. I can't wait. Next up, developer Grim Bros announced today that they will be bringing a new serving of their debut RPG, Dragonfin Soup, to the PlayStation Vita in the form of a major update that will launch later this year. Titled Dragonfin Soup Extra Chunky Edition, the new update will be available for the Vita alongside the PS3, PS4, and Steam versions of Dragonfin Soup. Dragonfin Soup Extra Chunky Edition will see the PlayStation Vita version receive the latest 1.07 Community Chowdown patch currently available for the Steam version, alongside the following additional features. Ability to feed pets to level them up, toggle button for the grid view, new Black Knight pet inspired by Monty Python and the Holy Grail, new dungeons, new trash talk system, new items, recipes, weapons, and much, much more. To bring this version of the game to the PlayStation, Grim Bros have formed a partnership with Twitchy Thumbs Entertainment, whose CEO Jim Buck has been working on PlayStation platforms for over 20 years. In the press release that we've received, Grim Bros CEO Ash Monif also apologized to those that bought the game on PlayStation consoles after the game was plagued with issues. Quote, we want to apologize again to all our PSN players in the community. We had no intentions of leaving you hanging for so long after the initial version of DFS launched, and there has been a lot of confusion, frustration, and false information. It has been a difficult and complicated process to say the least, but we are making headway. We know you are beyond resilient and patient, and we are forever grateful to you all, end quote. A better version of Dragonfin Soup. Who's in? Next up, Idea Factory International has announced that they'll be bringing the localized version of Hyperdimension Neptunia vs. Sega Hard Girls over, going from Hyper to Super in the transition. If you've been wondering what wondering when that other Neptunia spin-off title was going to be making its way west. Now that Mega Tag mentioned Neptunia plus Blanc vs. Zombies is almost here, the time to stop wondering so much are now at hand. It's coming, and it's doing so with style. Due out this fall in both the North American and European regions, Super Dimension Neptunia vs. Sega Hard Girls will be PlayStation TV compatible and available in both digital and physical editions. Here's the official introduction courtesy of the press release. Our story begins in the mysterious halls of an ancient library. The Grand Library holds the history of the world within its shelves. Legend says that if one was to tamper with the books kept there, the past itself could be completely rewritten. A daring adventurer known as IF discovered the location of this revered library and finally crossed its threshold. Little did she know a disaster of historical proportions was about to occur before her very eyes. Books began to vanish from the library's shelves, the history of the world was disappearing before her, and the reasons for this occurrence was shrouded in mystery. IF sets out on a journey across time to uncover the truth. Will she be able to work together with both the Sega Hard Girls and Goddesses to recover the lost history? Will they really be able to save the world? Are you excited yet? Here are some of the title's key features. A history of Sega to love, introducing Sega Hatsumi, Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, Game Gear, Mega Drive, familiar faces Neptune, IF, Nepgear, Platue, and Uzumi return as playable characters. Be anything you want. Change classes to switch up stats to customize your team. There are also special skills only specific classes can use. IF is her own stuntman, maneuver through treacherous dungeon terrains with various actions like jump, dash, claw, or climb, crawl to reach items or special rewards, and even destroy objects to clear the path ahead. Fever Time, jump to obtain the Rainbow Gem and unleash Fever Time. This reduces enemy turns during battle, enables HDD form, and raises stats by 10% to give you the advantage. That's all we've got to share for now, but the bottom line is that Super Dimension Neptunia vs. Sega Hard Girls will be landing in our hands this fall. Isn't that just super? Ha.
Of course it is. But kicking on with a train in my background, Axiom has gotten in touch to reveal a release date and new details for their upcoming localization of Ragigant. Ragigant is a 3-character dungeon crawler that combines story with turn-based RPG action. Has you taking on various forms of Gigant with unique abilities of your characters being the only hope for survival. It was announced as coming west back in November, but information front has been quiet ever since. That silence has now been broken, and some new things have been revealed. We're happy to announce that Ragigant will be available in North America and Europe May 3rd. In addition, new details have been revealed. What a gigantic relief. Let's check out some of these characters, shall we? The hero of Chapter 1, Ichiya Amakaze, is a light-hearted young man who is born of a normal family. He awakens to a mysterious power during the siege on Tokyo and uses the Yorigami Habakiri. Kyle Griffin is the hero of Chapter 2 and a very intelligent young man. Born a noble but raised without a mother's love, his upbringing has twisted his view of the world. His Yorigami is called Answerer. Nil Phineas is the heroine of Chapter 3 and was once an innocent girl, who was trained to fight the Gigants. She uses the Yorigami Kukulkan and works hard to protect the Caribbean islands from the enemy. Additional characters mentioned are Mana and Kuzomi, who are introduced as allies you trust, and pictured on the site. Mana Izamo is Ichiya's childhood friend and a caring soul who can't seem to separate love and friendship. Kazumi Miya is Ichiya's reliable partner, a serious, blunt sort of person. Ragigant is headed to North America and Europe May 3rd. How big is your excitement? Pretty big, I bet.
Massive.
Massive. Anyway, moving on. Veteran Vita developers Drinkbox Studios have dropped the big one on us with the release date announcement for upcoming Vita exclusive Severed. After a 2-year development cycle, Drinkbox Studios finally dishes the details on one of the hottest indie titles to grace the handheld this year. Severed is the team's long-anticipated follow-up to the 2013 indie smash Guacamelee, and marks the 3rd time the developers have produced a game for the PlayStation Vita. Severed is a first-person dungeon crawler where you take the powers of your enemies by equipping pieces of their bodies you've cut from them using the touchscreen. Looks like it will add a tactile sense of combat not seen in other games of the nature. Originally planned for release in 2015, the game has gained a series of additions that the developers explain led to its delay. Severed was initially planned as a spring 2015 release, but after showing an early demo of the game at PlayStation Experience in 2014, we became inspired with a ton of new ideas and decided there was a lot more, we wanted to add. It only took a whole extra year, I can't read apparently, but we finally finished packing in as much as we could into Severed, and we're really happy with how it has turned out, end quote. Severed by Drinkbox Studios will release April 26, 2016 in the West, exclusively for PlayStation Vita. Look for a day one review at the Vita Lounge. I'll be bringing it. And kicking on to another long one. Square Enix have released some new details regarding characters Cesar and Orenz, as well as the class system for Dragon Quest Heroes 2, Twin Kings, and the Prophecy's End. Cesare, the Prince of Gaiwal, is the childhood friend of protagonists Razzle and Teresia. While Cesare is the older of the two, the trio gets along regardless of social standing. While Razzle lost the opportunity to meet up after he left to study abroad at the military academy in Orenka, they finally reunite after 4 years during the war. By preparing his great sword with both hands, Cesar can make use of a variety of attributes, including ice, fire, and thunder. By unleashing attacks that correspond to the enemy's weakness, you can fight advantageously in a variety of situations. Orenz flies around the world at the command of King Zebian. As the red female warrior, Orenz's name is known across the world and fights majestically alongside the royal families of each country. She is a big sister type that guides the combat and experienced protagonists with accurate advice. However, despite her cheerful behavior, she holds a heavy determination at the bottom of her heart. Orenz uses an axe to unleash powerful attacks. She specializes in breaking through the enemy's front and can mow down the surrounding enemies all at once while swinging or let out an increased power attack with the power she builds up. Square Enix also gave more information about the new class system for the game. The player will now be able to change between 5 different classes: Warrior, Martial Artist, Mage, Priest, and Thief. Players will start in the Warrior class, but will be able to change their character class as they progress through the game. Each class will level up independently, as well as require players to learn skill points for each class separately. The skills for your character will change depending on the class selected. For example, playing as a Priest class will have skills focused on recovering your party. Weapons are also different for each class, so you'll be learning a diverse range of skills and combos for your characters. In Dragon Quest Heroes 2, there are new ways to strengthen your party via party skills and party combos. Since party skills can be learned by increasing the proficiency of a specific weapon type, it will increase party's overall attribute values and prove effective in battle. Value. The effect extends to the entire party if someone learns a party skill, so you should try to have all members of your team learn some. Party combos can be unleashed during battle, and see members of your party replace the character you're controlling to let out a series of consecutive special skills, one after the other. This comes in handy when you want to continue attacking the enemy with characters that are at a distance, who will appear before them immediately. Also included in this information drop were field missions, which can be initiated on the battlefield. These are events such as random travelers being attacked or horde of monsters, and completing them will grant the player bonus experience. Dragon Quest Heroes 2, Twin Kings and the Prophecy's End will be released later this year on PlayStation Vita, May 27th in Japan.
Now you can take a breath, Kyle, and relax.
Apparently.
Alright, next up. Last month we brought you the initial details for Divine Prison Tower, Mary Skelter, the new RPG from Compile Heart in collaboration with Dengeki PlayStation and Dengeki Bunko. We'd previously heard that the game is set in a twisted version of Japan in 1999, but here is a more in-detail look at the game's setting. Many decades ago, a city suddenly collapsed and a prison controlled by creatures known as Marchen was born. Known simply as jail, it is a living prison that is an impenetrable human asylum. The game follows Jack, a prisoner of jail who has had a hard life. He is constantly tortured and has forgotten what it means to have hopes and dreams. His suffering is constant. He has no peace of mind and is set upon day and night. But one day, after being put into solitary confinement, cut off from all light, a group known as the Chishiki Girls Squad rescues Jack. So starts Jack and the group's mission to escape the supposedly impenetrable prison. Here's some details on a few of the characters introduced so far. Jack is the main protagonist who is in prison and jail. He seems timid but is strong of heart and will put his life on the line for his friends. He is rescued by Akuzuken, who originally came to rescue Alice. They support the Jishiki Girls Squad, who fight while wounded and wish to become women of power, as they attempt to escape the prison. Later in the story, Jack discovers he is a Shishiki boy after obtaining a Shishiki ability. Alice is the girl who grew up as an inmate with Jack in prison. She discovers that she is a Shishiki girl when she is saved by Akuzuken and demonstrates her power when escaping. She is usually able to judge situations coolly, but she always lays all her cards on the table when talking with Jack. Akuzuken is an exciting, hot-blooded girl who gallops into the prison. She has a soft spot for Jack, who she enjoys to manipulate. She is said to be the first discovered Shishiki girl, and despite her rough outer shell, acts as an older sister to the other girls. Her hot-blooded nature can cause havoc at times, though. Here are some details on new characters introduced by the official website. First up, we have Oyaya Behaim. Yep. Known in English as Thumbelina, who is the oldest of three sisters who comprise the Shishiki Girls Squad. Given that she is mature, she is often seen scolding Jack as she is quite strict. She is also described as being a bashful character. Next up is Shira Yukahime, known as Snow White in English. She is the middle child in the Shishiki squad. She has fondness for main character Jack, but her clumsiness often gets her in trouble, and she suffers from self-confidence issues. And lastly, we have the youngest of the sisters, Nimuriheim, known in English as Sleeping Beauty. She is considered to have a more mysterious nature, but also likes to show her affection to Jack when he needs help. She very rarely talks and usually communicates by nodding her head. Divine Prison Tower Mary Skelter is set to release October 13th, and you'll be able to download for 6,480 yen, or alternatively pay 7,344 yen for the physical version. The limited edition of the game will cost 9,504 yen and includes a special illustrated box, a drama CD, as well as a special book. But if that wasn't enough, all pre-orders include an exclusive Sakura Shrine Maiden all-character bundle. Nippon Ichi Software America announces the release dates of visual novel Psycho Pass Mandatory Happiness for both North America and European audiences. Popular anime series Psycho Pass has a well-established name among the anime crowd since 2012. It has spawned manga, novelizations, and finally a visual novel game. Now fans in the West can finally enjoy Psycho Pass Mandatory Happiness on their PlayStation Vitas thanks to publisher NIS America. In 2113, the government in this society has advanced the technological developments that allow one's mental state and disposition to be quantified and profiled. In other words, with only the mere intent of behaving in a criminal manner, your mental state will be profiled in your Psycho Pass, resulting in potential imprisonment or even death. This system is the government's omniscient eyes of justice. The Psycho Pass is broken into two main components. One of the components is the hue, a visual representation that conveys a person's stress level. The other is a crime coefficient, a numerical value representing a person's criminal capacity. This numerical value determines whether an individual requires enforcement by the detectives of the Public Safety Bureau. Psycho Pass Mandatory Happiness takes place during the same time span as the first series of the anime and features new characters to help flesh out the series' lore and backstory. The game will feature a full vocal performances with the original Japanese voice cast. The players will choose between two playable detectives, Nadeshiko Kugatachi, a calm and serious inspector with no memories, or hot-headed Takuma Tsurugi, an enforcer trying to find his missing friend. As you progress through the game, you will be assigned cases with choices that will affect the overall outcome of the story. Be warned, every choice you make has its own repercussions and could end the game sooner than expected. Details were spotted regarding special editions for both the Vita and PS4 versions of the game available through the official NIS America online store and Amazon. These plush packages with a collectible box for storage, a soundtrack CD of select in-game music, 3 7x10 pencil boards, an adorable microfiber cloth, and a 72-page art book. Serious fans can pre-order these deluxe packages now. Decisions, detectives, and dire situations await those that play Psycho-Pass Mandatory Happiness when it releases on September 13th in North America and September 16th, 2016 in Europe. We revealed not too long ago that Future Radium EP Deluxe will be getting a physical release thanks to a partnership between Limited Run Games and developer Mixed Bag Games, but we now know exactly when you'll be able to purchase the game. May 9th is when the game will become available to order on Limited Run Games website, and it will be limited to 2,000 copies of the Vita version. The game will be priced at Limited Run's standard of $24.99 plus shipping. In addition, East Asia Soft has announced that they'll be partnering with Limited Run Games and will release two of their titles in physical format in a limited quantity sometime in 2016. Both their ambitious JRPG Rainbow Moon and their shmup Soldner X2 final prototype will get the physical treatment, both equipped with their own set of features. Rainbow Moon will have a platinum trophy, an updated translation and cross-save support, while Soldner X2 final prototype will have 4 supported languages, a new trophy set, and Soldner X2 final prototype, the last chapter available on the cart. We'll be sure to update you when we have more details, including the launch date, but in the meantime, it's nice to know how much Vita love we're getting lately now.
Yeah. Moving on, after that huge block of writing that Tyler had to read, to a whole bunch of short things for me. Nice. Anyway, 5PB has announced the Japanese release date for My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu 2. Following the second season of the anime, My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu 2 is an adventure visual novel style game, and as such it's all about the story and the characters. The good news is that you'll be able to interact with them plenty when the game drops July 28th in Japan. If you buy the game at Anime, you'll get a Yukino Shita illustration special favor, while soft map buyers will get Yugihama B2 tapestry. Additionally, if you purchase the limited edition version of the game, you'll get a Blu-ray which contains an original video animation of the light novel's 10.5 volume, Aroha Ishiki's main episode. My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu 2 is due out in Japan on July 28th, priced at 7,000 yen. The limited edition version will be priced at a significantly higher 11,000 yen. The latest weekly Famitsu has announced the cancellation of Gus Chronos Materia. Announced way back in the middle of 2013, Chronos Materia was supposed to be released in September of that year, but it was delayed. That delay turned into a long, quiet period, and now it turned into an official cancellation. Famitsu has revealed that the game's development has been officially halted in its newest issue, and earlier this month the game's website was even taken down after being up all this time. A game that was supposed to be about a bunch of girls who landed in an unpopulated world, now it's simply an unpopulated concept. Ashes to ashes, and Chronos Materia to dust. Kicking on, Dengeki PlayStation has announced a release date for pirate-themed RPG Genkai Toki 7 Pirates, noting that you'll be able to get a hold of the game in Japan on August 4th. Arr, mateys.
Huh. Alright, next up, NIS America has revealed that Odin Sphere Luther will release on June 24th in Europe, which falls near the tail end of their previous June release window. It's not a parody release with North America like I'm sure most people wanted, but it's close. Odin Sphere releases June 7th in North America and June 24th in Europe. Yeah, I nailed that last part. Don't worry about it. Katakawa Games and Falcom are bringing a demo for Trails in the Sky, the third evolution, to Japan. Dengeki PlayStation has revealed that the highly anticipated Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, the third evolution, will be getting a Japanese region PlayStation Vita demo on April 25th. The details of the demo yet to be revealed, but be sure to check out when it drops on the Japanese store next week. Atelier Sophie, the Alchemist of the Mysterious Book, the 17th title in the Atelier series, is set to release on PlayStation Vita in the West this June. Ahead of the game's release, Koei Tecmo has revealed new details regarding new gameplay elements. There are two important elements to consider throughout your Atelier Sophie playthrough: time and weather. These elements will affect your progression through the game. Certain enemies will only appear at certain times during specific weather types. Similarly, important materials will only be available to harvest on certain days and in different climates. Planning your next move is vital, as rushing off with no structure will more than likely lead to failure. Another new feature for the RPG will be a fatigue-based life point system. If you have spent a large amount of time before a battle adventuring, gathering materials, and not resting, you will find that your attacks do less damage in battle. It is not advisable to dive headfirst into a battle after a busy day. Atelier Sophie, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Book is set to release digitally for Vita in North America on June 7th and in Europe on June 10th.
Alright, kicking on and starting to get close towards the end. New details about RPG Caligula by developer Aquira have been released, including how new skills will be unlocked. There are over 500 students trapped in the world of Mobius. Each person has a unique name and profile, and although they have traumas and troubles in reality, they live a life where they're forgotten in Mobius. Your ties to these people holds the key to returning them home from Mobius. By forming friendships with students, you'll unlock the causality linker correlation graph within Mobius. At first glance, it may seem that student friendships are unlikely, but you'll connect in surprising places, and something big might be stirring up in locations unnoticed by the Going Home Club. Each student has their own unique problems, so if they're only looking at students' number of problems, it can be said that there are over 500 quests in the game. By solving students' problems, new skills will unlock. The correlation graph acts as the game's skill tree. Those skills can be set by the members of the Going Home Club. It takes power born from the traumas and complexes of the students to further increase the power of the Going Home Club. It is power beyond what was already permitted to them. Caligula has character episodes that touch on secrets of the Going Home Club's members, which aren't revealed if you only proceed with the main scenario. Only the player can perceive their plan until the end. However, you will feel the danger within them and will not be blamed if you turn back because you felt disgust. Not only will you experience surprising developments and outlooks on the world, you'll also enjoy various pleasant conversations with your fellow club members. Caligula is out in Japan on June 23rd for PlayStation Vita. Next up, Nippon Ichi Software has announced that their upcoming Kladun Sengoku will be getting a demo in Japan, as well as some crossovers with two other popular titles. Due in Japan on May 26th, Kladun Sengoku is an action RPG set in the land of regret, Arcanus Sella. In order to fulfill the longing of those trapped there, you must search dungeons looking for clues of regret. It's a novel idea for an RPG, and now you get to try it out for yourself when the newly announced demo hits on April 28th. In addition to the demo, however, it has been announced that in a collaboration with Falcom, we will see Adolf Christian from Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, and both Rian Schwarzer and Alyssa Reinford from The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 distributed as character creation data on the game's official site. The data for these characters will release alongside the demo on the 28th, so you can try them out early. Kladun Sengoku is due in Japan on May 26th, but you'll be able to try it and some interesting crossovers on April 28th if you've got access to the Japanese PlayStation Store. And kicking on, thanks to Falcom, Famitsu, Dengeki PlayStation, and Jamatsu, we now have a bunch of new pieces of the puzzle that is Ys 8. Things like characters, gameplay details, and other tidbits being filled in by each of these sources. Unfortunately, however, the information is kind of all over the place, but we've done our best to break it down for you here. First up, let's take a look at the newly introduced characters. Olga is Dana's childhood friend and a hardworking type of person. Tough on herself as well as others, she often mothers Dana, but it's mostly because she's worried about her. That said, she respects Dana for her imagination, resolution, and unique talents, even though they clearly have different ways of thinking. Character quote, "Good grief, how can you come up with something so mischievous?" End quote. Sarai is childhood friends with Dana and Olga. Cheerful, gentle, and friendly, Sarai watches over both Dana and Olga, and although she's a conservative type who doesn't take action for her own benefit, she's known to unleash a sharp tongue on her friends when needed, especially on Olga. Character quote, Hee hee, if you look at the regular Dana, she doesn't seem to be the excitingly famous problem child, does she? End quote. Also introduced are Kathleen, a 29-year-old female blacksmith who gets involved in the Lombardia passenger liner disaster. Her grandfather is a well-known craftsman in the Roman Empire. Also Aaron, a 36-year-old officer in the Roman Empire military police. He chases violent criminals for a living, and because of that is caught up in the shipwreck disaster, a part of the story confirmed to show this. Additionally, Aaron is also skilled in tool making and construction. Those last two characters, Kathleen and Aaron, will allow you access to the blacksmithery and industrial art shop, respectively. The blacksmithery will let you strengthen or create weapons and armor, while the industrial art shop will let you dismantle accessories, armor, and equipment. Moving on from direct character information and relevance, we've also learned that it hasn't yet been decided if you can control characters on Dana's side, although there will be instances where they act together with her. Dana and her company hold important positions in kingdoms where they live, and in public act apart. That said, in private, they behave much differently. Speaking of Dana's side, it has been revealed that Dana actually lives in a completely different world than Adol's, where there is a civilization of winged people. In other news, it has been revealed that castaways will only gather in the drifting village, but party members can set up camps in various locations on the island to recover. These campsites you can set up with castaways may lead to events with party members, as it has been revealed that they can also occur in such an area. Additionally, it has been revealed that each of the castaways themselves have their own unique profiles and events, bringing their personality to life. In regards to locations around the island, we've also been introduced to location points. Specific points such as landscapes that are registered on the map. There are between 1 and 2 location points per area, and they can be found in dungeons. Lastly, we've been given further information on the way that weapons and protective equipment are set up, with confirmation that weapon variations depend on the character. Each weapon will have 7 to 8 stages and will be able to be strengthened in 3 stages across many variations. Protective equipment is split across armor, and accessories, and will feature nearly 100 variations. Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana is due out July 21st in Japan.
Alright, last few here. Yacht Club Games has announced that they're releasing a bunch of new Shovel Knight themes, and that the PlayStation Vita one is headed our way very soon. Available worldwide on April 21st, the brand new Shovel Knight PlayStation Vita theme will have 9 different background images and replacement icons for what seems to be everything standard, aside from the PlayStation Store and Welcome Park applications, of course. Grab the theme for yourself on April 21st. The price is yet to be announced, but we assume it's $2.99 or less as usual. Sony has announced that the service for the brain game SmartAs will be shutting down at the end of May. As well as with all server-connected games that have moved past their prime, SmartAs has lived a full life and now must be relegated to the never-to-be-platinumed again bin. That said, it's not quite over yet, and if you're both quick and dedicated, you might be able to get that plat before time runs out on May 31st. As of this podcast, you've got 42 days to either get the platinum or forget it forever. Do you have the dedication? Do you have the skill? Only you have the power to find out, and you'd better do it quick. More details have emerged from upcoming Utawarumano, the 2 Hakaros, including returning characters and some interesting info on the game from the interview with producer Naoya Shimokawa. Several characters will be returning for this installment from previous games, and one new character has been unveiled. Ashtoro, the protagonist, at the point of dying request of Ashtoro, Haku wears the mask in his place. Nikon, she supports Haku to fulfill her older brother's dying request. She carries the responsibility of her brother's death on her back and agonizes herself for it. Rurutai, after a fight with her allies and the death of Haku she admired, she has shown great mental growth. Atui, the beloved daughter of the Emperor of the Ocean Country, Shaharo. Fumariri, the character is new to the series. She is a big-hearted girl born in Tuskuru. She is a good, understanding person and Kuon's attendant, while at the same time an older sister-like character. There were a few more details about the game that came up in an interview with producer Shimokawa. As it stands, Shimokawa feels the game is currently 70% complete, though rather worryingly isn't mentioned that if there is a delay, it will be 1 to 2 months, which isn't reassuring for fans if they're already talking about how long a delay would be for the game. More reassuringly, though, Shimokawa hopes that they continue developing the Utawarumano series in the future, and the scenario writer for the game has an idea for a Zero concept where a young Tsukuru plays an active role. Speaking more on the game itself, it is revealed that the game will pick up immediately after the previous game, although character levels from the previous game will not be carried over into this one. The team are also hoping to find a better balance in this game, acknowledging that in the previous game there was a greater emphasis on the adventure parts. Finally, speaking about the previous work in the series across all 3 platforms, the previous game sold more than 150,000 copies, and although currently there are no plans to sell a bundle version of the previous work, they are considering they can discount the download version. Utawarumano, the Two Hakuros, is due out on PS4, PS3, and Vita in Japan on September 21st.
And that's the news. Right,
wow. Wow.
Where's your enthusiasm, man?
That was good. I you got it. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, moving on from the news, we go to talking points. And as usual, we go to announce release games we're looking forward to from the week. So, of those 27 or so stories, what's up, Tyler? What looks good?
I should probably open it. Well, Attack on Titan, man. I'm so ready for that crap. I am so ready. Also, Rocket Birds 2. I love them Rocket Birds, man. That first game was so much fun. So I'm definitely ready for another one. You know, I'm sure there's something else in here, but... Oh. No, wait. Is Dragon Quest Heroes the one that's like Minecraft? Or is that... No, it's Dragon Quest Builders.
That's Builders, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't mention that one. Alright.
Wow.
Yeah, just glancing over all this stuff, I would say those are the only 2 that I'm really, like, super interested in right now.
Huh?
What about you?
Alright, well, that Kenichiro Takaki bit, him talking about getting the Battle Vixens, Ikitusen characters into Senrank Estival versus, and Valkyrie Drive, Bhikkhuni, and Uppers localized, that would be awesome, so... I'm hopefully looking forward to that if it actually happens. Also, Attack on Titan, of course. The fact that we've got this release date of the end of August. Oh, I want it so bad. But we've got to wait, so here we sit. And Severed. As much as I already have this game, and I've already platinumed it, and I've already played through it twice, can't wait for the release date because, well, I kind of can't wait to be able to talk about it. So... yeah, we'll leave it at that. What else we got here? Oh, Psychopath's Mandatory Happiness. I wasn't too into the anime, but I find some of these things, like Steins Gate, which I've started and am enjoying already more than the anime, are kind of more my style. So going the visual novel route is better, and I'm hoping that this is the case for Psychopath's Mandatory Happiness as well, so I'll be checking that out. And it was mentioned about the release date for Europe, but still, Odin's Sphere Leaf Thrasier. Really excited for that. The demo, which I played on the Japanese side of the things, was pretty good, even though I couldn't really read anything. But the actual, the way it played, how smooth it was, how pretty it was, and the gameplay, it was really good. So I'm looking forward to that, and I never played the original on PS2, so I'm going in blind, and I love that.
Very nice.
So yeah, I think that's it. I mean, there's a couple other things that they might catch my interest down the line, but I'm not really all for them yet, so there you go.
Well, alright, that's better than me.
Indeed. But everyone knows I'm better than you, Tyler. Ah, yeah.
He tells himself this every week, guys, and one day he's gonna try to believe it, but we all know it's not true. You know.
Yeah, whatever, Tyler.
I mean,
whatever.
do you practice that in the mirror like every day?
I don't need to practice in the mirror. I know I'm great.
I'm better than Tyler. I'm better than Tyler.
I know I'm great, Tyler. I know I'm great.
You say that too, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Alrighty, well, your turn.
So what? You want to fight? Come here a minute.
Let's go.
I'll wait. We'll just keep recording until you get here.
Yep. It's gonna be a while.
But anyway, moving on. Our other talking point for this week, because of all the mix-up with how we've delayed and all these things, is the PlayStation Store top downloads for March. So we have the March list. Looking to the charts this month, stealthily released XCOM Enemy Known Plus debuts at number 6 in North America and number 5 in Europe, while last month's newbie and number 1 Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth slips to 3 in North America and 6 in Europe. So that's from the Post. Because they're top 10s and because I like to read them and let you guys know, here they are real quick. North America top 10. Jak and Daxter Collection, Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth at 3, Monster Mon Piece at 4, Muramasa Rebirth at 5, XCOM Enemy Unknown Plus at 6, that stupid ass Minecraft at 7, Breath of Fire 3 for PSP at 8, Super Stardust Delta at 9, and Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD at 10. As for Europe, their top 10 is: number 1 is Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories for frickin' PSP. Number 2 is Awesome Killzone Mercenary. Number 3 is Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. Number 4 is Resident Evil Revelations 2. Number 5 is XCOM Enemy Unknown Plus. Number 6 is Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Number 7 is Terraria. Number 8 is that crap Minecraft. Number 9 is Street Fighter X Tekken. And number 10 is Uncharted Golden Abyss. So obviously there are some sale-induced chart toppers, I guess, there. And some weird-ass PSP games. But, I mean, it's not too bad of a month. What do you think, Tyler?
I'm sad to not see Sword Art Online. But
yeah, well, it rarely makes it out of the charts, so I'm guessing it was only the sales that pushed it out. It'll be back.
It'll be back. Bring back Sword Art Online.
I still have to play Lost Song. Damn.
Jeez, man.
All these games, Tyler, I'm backing up.
I guess I can't really say much either, because I haven't played much of Lost Song myself. So, yeah.
Have you finished Hollow Realization, though, right? Or Hollow Fragment, I mean, though, right?
Nope. I'm stuck. I'm on like floor 97, and there's a boss that I have to beat that is murdering me in like 2 hits. And I'm like, well, I have to grind. And
Go
I've been
grind
too
your
busy.
shit, Tyler.
I need to, but there's all these other games. It's just, I'm so busy.
I know, but if you finish some of the other stuff, then you have more time for the new stuff.
I know, and then more stuff piles up, and then here we are.
Yeah, I know, it's a vicious cycle, but still, you gotta be positive.
I'm trying. I am trying.
Well, there you go.
Alright, well, let's get into the next stuff. We got some listener mail, don't we, Kyle?
Yes, we do, and you should read it because I think you need to talk more, Tyler.
Alrighty, fine. Alright, our first question here is from Shoots Presser. I'm sorry, I'm totally butchering your name. On Twitter, at KMAC8. KMACK number 8. And they say, I love my Vita, but be completely honest, how much life does it have left?
Alright, so, I guess because of, we have to, ask ourselves this question, we also have to ask ourselves the question, what do you mean by life? Because there are already games planned into 2017, so it's not like, one day in, the near future, it's just going to be like, bam, there's no games coming out. So what is life? If you're talking about, regular AAA releases, it's dead already. If you're talking about, who gives a shit about what the game's, called as far as its classification, some good games, we've still got that for at least another year. And I would be hopeful a little bit more as, some of these things are optimized and engines are, ironed out. There's a lot of engines and things in porting right now, which is kind of weird still. But yeah, I don't know. I think we've got at least another solid year to go as we are now. And from there, it kind of depends on kind of how things go during that year. I don't know. What do you think, Tyler?
Man, you like to call the gold. I pretty much agree with everything you said, so there's really not.
Well, damn it, Tyler. You know what? You're fired.
All right, bye.
It's enough with Tyler. Doesn't have anything to say after I say some things, so...
Well, I mean, when you take all the thunder, there's not much I can do after that.
I tried to keep it short, Tyler. I don't know. What do you want from me?
No, you're doing fine. Sometimes it's nice to be like, yeah, I just agree with what he said.
Alright.
Well, take that.
You can read this other one, because I just found out we have an email one, too, so there we go.
Alrighty. This one's from Shay Batty, and she is on Twitter at Bergster30, BERGSTER30, and she says, "What's a game that you want to platinum but probably never will?"
Alright, I forget which it is, but one of the X-Blaze games, I think it might be the first one, it requires a whole bunch of ridiculous things to platinum. I went back and I platinumed, I think, the new one, and then I went to the old one, and I was like, yeah, no. So that one I would really like to platinum, because, I mean, they're really good, unique kind of visual novels from my perspective, and I enjoyed them, and I would like to have them both, 100% complete and done, but there's that one, and it's like a bitch to do, and I don't know if I'm up for it. So there you go. Also, I keep meaning to get back to it, and I kind of have a feeling that I'm not gonna, which is kind of sad, and that's Soul Sacrifice Delta. I'd have to completely go through, the other stuff, other than the, I believe, I forget what it's even called from now. Avalon, that's what it is. Avalon faction, which I pretty much, went through everything for. I haven't done the other two really, so to go back and do those would be a pain in the ass, and I don't think I'm going to end up doing it, so probably that one too. That's probably enough for me. What about you, Tyler?
I've been talking about it a lot, but I've really wanted to platinum WRC4. But that fucking online trophy, playing for 3 hours online, in-game, not just like hanging out in the lobby chatting with some friends or whatever. You have to be actually racing. So what? I just got an idea. I should just get someone to like turn their Vita on, and we'll just get in a match and just chill at the start point. Go do other things.
Just wear down the clock, Tyler.
Yeah.
Hey, if it works, or if you can ad hoc with nobody, because there are some games that let you do that too.
True. I mean, I could try, but I don't think there is ad hoc. But yeah, that's what I need to do. But I got to find someone that would want to like just turn their Vita on and put it on a charger or whatever, and like hang out for 3 hours.
Oh, come on, Tyler. You've got so many followers, you can probably find somebody.
Maybe. That's a commitment. I can barely find anyone to even just do 2 races.
If I had the game, I would, but I don't, so I can't.
So buy it, and then do that, and then you get the hardest trophies out of the way, and then you can just play the game and get the platinum.
Tyler, to be honest, if I had money, I'd be playing Dark Souls 3.
Get out. Just go home.
I am home, Tyler.
Good.
You go home.
I am home.
Yeah. Likely story.
It is likely, because I am.
So is that the only one?
Maybe Sword Art Online, if I had the energy to do everything in that, but that game is so hard and long and just like Actually, no, I take that back. I would love to platinum that, but I really would like to platinum Killzone Mercenary.
Yeah, you really should have platinum Killzone Mercenary already.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a glitch, because I felt like I've shot or used every single piece of equipment, and I haven't got that trophy to pop.
Well, if there's a glitch, it must be a new glitch, because I got that trophy like right after it came out.
Well,
so.
Kyle, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, Tyler.
Not all glitches affect everyone. Okay?
Not all glitches are real either, Tyler.
True. I need to go through every single thing one day and just mess around, but I'm so lazy, and it's like, ugh. Really? Game?
America.
Anyways. All right, what's our email question, Kyle?
All right, moving on to our email question. All right. Greetings, Kyle and Tyler. It has been a long time since I last wrote to the cast, but here's a question I've been wondering about for some time, and I would love to hear what you guys think about it.
Pineapples.
Started with an annoying situation. 2 weeks ago, Risk of Rain was released on PlayStation 4 and Vita. I'd played it before on PC, so I knew how awesome the game was and wanted to play it again now on my Vita. The game also has a very fun co-op mode, so I asked some friends to see if they would buy it too. They would play it on PS4. Risk of Rain's price is $10, very cheap in my opinion. Even then, all of my friends said they wouldn't pay that much of an indie game because it isn't a game that they would get on PSN Plus sometime. From what I see, this is a recurrent thought that it is never worth it to buy indie games as they are always PSN Plus material. I know that Sony always makes some kind of agreement with developers to compensate them for PSN Plus downloads. Even then, I keep wondering, does PSN Plus hurt indie developers somehow? Cheers, Jonathan Carnero.
Yeah, I've heard this debate a lot, and I kind of just say, like, if they weren't going to buy it regardless, I don't think it's a bad thing, because let's just get rid of PlayStation Plus for an instance. If PlayStation Plus wasn't there, would they have really even gotten it in the first place? Probably not. So the fact that Sony is dropping who knows how much money towards these developers to get their game on PlayStation Plus, I think in the end it's pretty good. There's some games obviously where they go on PlayStation Plus right as they launch, and they could have been really hit games if they had just been, normal for sale, but I really have no idea. I think regardless, it's good to have them on PlayStation Plus, but there's those people out there that are going to always do that, and it can be frustrating at times, but again, would they have really even gotten it if there was no such thing as PlayStation Plus? I don't think so. Kyle?
Alright, so coming at this from my point of view, see, it does and it doesn't hurt indie developers, because in one way, yes, it might hurt, as in some of these people who are frugal and or just want free games, wait around expecting these games to show up on PlayStation Plus and maybe don't buy it. But on the other hand, by giving these games to the PlayStation Plus freebie lineup, they've made a chunk of money, because it's not like they do these things for free for Sony. There is a deal there. They do get a certain amount of money for it. I'm not sure exactly what the specifics are. I heard them somewhere, but I can't recall at this point. So they do get, some sort of money for it. And then you get the word of mouth of all these people who have then got your game for free to all these other people who maybe don't have PlayStation Plus, don't give a shit about PlayStation Plus, hear about it down the line when it's not on PlayStation Plus, all the different things that spread the game around. Because, let's face it, this isn't, a certain amount of years ago when all the, high-profile-esque games, whether they were indie or whatever, you wanted to call them, because, seriously, back then we didn't really use terms like indie, came out, they would be, advertised in trailers and commercials and billboards and all sorts of other things. Now, pretty much the only games that, get advertised in big ways like that are, big names. Killzone Mercenary might have got advertised like that, but you wouldn't see, Indie Fez get advertised like that, even though it's a friggin' awesome game, according to a whole lot of people. So I think the thing is they're kind of taking those people who, won't buy it because of the fact that it's going to be free or it might be free or whatever the hell as a loss, but they're gaining so much by word of mouth that they wouldn't otherwise have gained because of the fact that they can't afford, a marketing budget or whatever it is just to get the word of their game out there. So, well, I do think it hurts in some way. The ways in which it doesn't hurt you and it actually benefits you are larger. So I think that's kind of the deal, and it sucks that there are people who will avoid a game because it might be on Plus, but hey, it's the way the world is, and you can't control everybody's weird decisions.
Right.
So yeah, there you go. Thanks, Jonathan, for your email. Jonathan is actually our magazine artist He styles all our stuff and makes sure it looks all nice. So, yay, Jonathan. And thanks for your email.
Yeah, thank you. All right. It's time for Check This Out, isn't it?
It is, Tyler. And it's you.
Guess what I didn't do?
I'm guessing you didn't get to check this out, Tyler.
Your guess would be pretty spot on, sir.
Damn it, Tyler.
So,
I knew I hated you.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Guess what Tyler's doing right now?
I'm guessing you're looking up the PlayStation Store, Tyler. Or the Post. One of the two.
Yeah, I'm doing something all right as I kill time to find deals. But don't you worry. Deals. I got bad news. There is nothing that looks like it's worth me even saying you should get.
You should just tell people about a good game regardless of price.
Alright, there's actually 2 games on sale right now that are really cheap. One of them we've definitely said you should get already, and it's really cheap again. And another one is pretty recent. Got Persona 4 Golden for $10. That's cheap. If you haven't played it yet, I don't know even why you're listening to this podcast anymore. And then there's Shovel Knight for $10. Another great little game there for you. Boom. So for $20, you can get 2 of the best games on Vita and have a time of your life. And that is a lot of game to play, especially with Persona. So, go get it, girl.
Yeah, girl.
Alright, that's all for us, isn't it, Kyle?
I think it is, Tyler.
You want to read the outro?
Sure, why not? If you got listener mail or comments, contact us via media services at thevitalounge.net. You can find everything we talked about today at thevitalounge.net, including any mentioned news, reviews, featured articles, and store updates. We also have a community forum and a magazine, the magazine available both digitally and in physical copy via patreon.com/thevitalounge. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Teflon Tactics. Tyler's at Mr. PS Vita Reviews. We also have at the Vita Lounge. We're also on Facebook. Search the Vita Lounge. We have a YouTube channel called Lounge Play, now with more videos. I just put up some stuff for Senran Estival Versus, looking at the DLC characters, so check that out. This podcast is available on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, YouTube, and via direct download on the site. That's it. That's all. There it is.
Ham sandwich with cheese.
There you go.
That's what I had.
Ham sandwich
earlier.
with cheese. That actually sounds kind of good.
Really? I told someone I had that, some chick on Instagram, and she was like, what the hell is that? I was like, it's literally just a sandwich with cheese and ham on it. And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like,
some people don't understand the finer things in life, Tyler.
well, she was from
like
England.
the Vita cast.
Right. Of course. She's from England, so I don't know if that means anything.
Oh, yeah. Those English are crazy.
They are. All right. I think I know what I need to name this podcast episode.
I think I have a good idea, too.
All right. Bye-bye.
City's breaking down on a camel's back. City's breaking down on a camel's back. City's breaking down on a camel's back. City's breaking down. City's breaking down. Windmill, windmill for the land. Turn forever, hand in hand. Take it all in on your stride. It's sinking, falling down. Love forever, love is free. Let's turn forever, you and me. Windmill, windmill for the land. Is everybody in? Laughing gas, use hazmats, fast cats, lining them up like ass cracks. Lay these ponies at the track. It's my chocolate attack. Shit, I'm stepping in the heart of this year. Care Bear ripping it harder this year. Watch me as I gravitate. Ha, ha, ha. Yo, we gonna ghost town this Motown with your sound. You're in the blink, gonna bite the dust. Can't fight with us with your sound. You kill the ink, so don't stop. Get it until you jet ahead. and watch the way I navigate. Ha, ha, ha. So feel good, feel good, feel good. Feel good, baby, feel good, feel good, feel good. I want you to feel real. Don't stop, shit, get it. We are your captains and it's steady. Watch me navigate, ha, ha, ha. So don't stop, shit, get it. We are your captains and it's steady. Watch me navigate, ha, ha, ha. Cities breaking down on a camel's back. Cities breaking down on a camel's back. Cities breaking down on a camel's back. Cities breaking down, cities breaking down.